Today, we'll be making Inday-Inday. We are going to have 2 cups of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence, a teaspoon of salt, and then we have some glutinous rice flour. It's a powdered rice flour, sticky rice. So we'll be using 1 pound. Find the one that has a green marks. Then we're going to use the coconut meat because we don't have a fresh one. If you have fresh one, you can use that. Those are the young ones. They're not too soft, they're not too hard, they're just medium softness. So in the Philippines, in Ilonggo, we call it kulabo. Not really kulabo, a little, the ones for bukayo. So the ones we have here in the can. So I'm going to slice it. In the Philippines, we used to shred it. We have a shredder. You can also buy a shredder in the Asian stores here in the US if we are going to use the fresh coconut. But since we don't have one, so I'm just slicing. We have also those already shredded in the frozen aisle in the freezer. So those from the Philippines, it's frozen. This, I think this one is from Thailand, so they are canned coconut meat. So if you can buy the frozen ones, those are good also. I prefer the frozen ones, but since I cannot find, because they're always in demand here, so I'm buying these ones in the can. And then after slicing, we're going to prepare now our rice flour. So everything is shredded. We need a bowl for us to mix. So we're going to put in everything. So we'll be using 1 pound of the glutinous rice, or some they call it sweet rice. And then we'll put a hole, and we're going to put 2 cups of water. We do it slowly. We can put a little bit more if we need more. Just enough to make everything sticky, and we can roll it into a ball. Don't put everything all at once because it might be too wet. So with mine, with 1 pound, I used 2 cups of water and a little bit more, like 2-3 tablespoons more, because you can see if the mixture is ready for rolling, you know. So right now I'm mixing. I can see the texture is not enough, so I'll be adding more water. So it's better to use your hand for this one. You don't really need to use the machine for this, because we're just making just a little bit. This is just 1 pound. Make sure your hands are clean, you know. So add a little more water. But all in all, I used 2.5 cup of water. So we keep mixing, and then we can feel the texture if it's too wet or if it's still very dry. If it's still dry, then you know you have to add. Yeah, I'm showing my fingers. It's clean. So it's important you have to wash your hands because you will be eating this. So make sure everything is clean. Your hands are clean. Your utensils are clean. So everything is almost ready. So just mix it, and you can see I'm using my hand to like roll it like a regular dough. So now we are ready to make a ball. So depending on how much you want to do it, you know, how big you want to do it, So I'm just getting like a bite size, like half of the golf ball size, and then we are going to put like a hole in the middle. I don't know what's the hole for, but that's how I learned from my cousins when they were doing this. So we're gonna roll it and then make a hole. So we keep on rolling and rolling and rolling this until we finish all the dough that we've made. So it's easy. Just keep rolling, rolling, rolling. It depends how big you want it to be. You can make it as big as you want or as small as you want. And then we have to prepare a small pan with a little bit of water. And then we're going to put the brown sugar, the salt, and the vanilla essence. Stir it, and then we have to let it boil. So now we're putting the brown sugar. I have 2 cups of the brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence. And then we're going to put the heat a little bit higher, and we have to mix it until our sugar and water mixture will be boiling. And then after that we're going to put our coconut meat. So now it's boiling. Okay, we can put now our coconut meat and let it cook. And on the side, I'm also boiling another pot. That's for the glutinous rice that we rolled earlier. So now we're going to put the coconut meat, and then we're going to mix it, and then let everything boil. And then we can lower the heat because we're going to cook the prepared not balls anymore because we put holes in the middle. Let's say coin. I don't know how to call that. So while the water is boiling, we're going to cook the glutinous rice. So we're just going to drop it one by one, and then when it starts to cook, you can see that it's going to float. So I'm dropping it one by one, and then I'm going to use spatula, how you call that, a ladle, so that it's not gonna stick at the bottom. When it's cooked, it will start floating, and then you will scoop it to the next pan. So the next pan, you just put it into simmer because you will still be cooking the rest of this glutinous rice. See, as you can see, it's floating. That means it's cooked. So we'll fish it out. Okay, fish it out one by one and put it in our mixture. So the rest will be cooking. Okay, and then we're going to put all of this in the pan with the coconut meat, and then we're going to mix it. If you want it saucy, that's already done, but if you want to let it dry a little bit more, then you can leave in the pan with a fire, so everything will be soaked up. It's up to you if you want saucy or not. So now it's ready. I like to eat this warm, but you can also eat this one cold. It depends on how you want it. So I'm preparing some for me. As you can see, I wanted mine saucy, so I left it with a lot of sauce. because if not, you will have to dry it more. So now it's time for tasting.